Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on your geographical location and your time zone. I am Kodili-nye. Returning subscribers, you are highly welcome back to the family. And new subscribers, thank you for joining us. And the old subscribers, thank you for continuing with us. We are going to discuss today. The weather is brightening up. And just growing around the inner streets and just walking around. You can see it's a beautiful day and it's a beautiful morning. The sunshine is out. It's a very sunny morning and very cold. What a paradox. The sun is on the sky, but it's what I mean cold. It's really cold. It's really cold. So that's the beauty of the land. This is a gift God has given to us, and we cannot complain, but to be thankful, because some people it might not like it, but some people it's a blessing. So, but we all need to appreciate the goodness of the Lord. So we are going to discuss several issues. We are going to talk about 2024. What next? The year of changing gear, according to Professor Soludo of Anambra State. We are going to discuss what to be done by Soludo administration in Anambra State now that is changing gear. Now 2024 has come in. Will he continue to be talking about what he's going to do and the year end, or is he going to hit the ground running? Today is 7th of January and the year is fast moving. It's moving very, very quick. It's not waiting for anybody. So that's why if he says changing gear, maybe the changing gear must start immediately. You need to change the gear immediately, because sorry about that, I'm gonna put on this stuff. So if you talk about changing gear, it means that you need to accelerate the speed and change the gear. You need to change the gear so that you are not being blown away by the events. So remember to subscribe to this channel. Remember to subscribe. Thank you once again for always watching our videos. We are entertaining, we are informative, and we're educative, and we dialogue, we interact, we react to events. Now that's what we are discussing now. We are discussing about Anambra State 2024. This is a Methodist church. It says Methodist church on this area. That's a Methodist church. You can see. Let me bring it closer to you. I don't know if yeah, see, Methodist church. See, that's the building there. And let's just continue moving on our way. So what we are talking about is there are a lot of ambitious plan by Professor Soludo. But the question is, when will these plans come to fruition? Already almost 2 years has gone since he took over Anambra State. And feelers are saying that he missed a great opportunity to change a lot of things, especially on the road infrastructure. Although you will not blame him that much, but still, because the opportunity is always there to do more, and when you don't take it, it means that you might be open for criticism. And some of them can be constructive, some of them can be way out of the way, way over the board. But we are going to look at, we do constructive criticism. There are a lot of things that the state, Anambra State, has been lacking, and many of the people might not understand that the state still lack a good environment in spite of almost 2 years of so-called declared war on the environment, cutting off waste. But still, the place is still dirty, showing the approach might not be the right one. The approach might not be the right one because getting a place to be tidied up is one thing. Another thing is putting a structure in place to keep it clean all the time is another thing. So you might do some fire brigade approach and said, oh, we'll call the press, and they're showing you talking tough, clearing the waste. But after the next day, the waste is back in the street again. And to be frank, people that will come up on it will say, it seems that this man has not done anything. And that's exactly what is happening in Anambra State. The governor came in and he was in a haste, in a way, initially, to get all the rubbish that filled the whole streets, removed, and get the streets look clean and the neighborhood look clean. But what happened is that the structure was not actually put in place. Proper structure to, which is what is lacking in Nigeria, in Nigerian system, that there's no system, there's no structure that actually help to sustain whatever you want to do. Let me give you an example. If your house is dirty, and the dirtiness is not because a lot of people are living there, but because there are a lot of dusty streets and leaves of trees that are continuously flooding the place or coming on that place, and dirty waters, burst pipes and all those things. So you don't actually need to just clean your house. You need to tackle the causes of that issue. The trees, the fallen tree leaves, the burst pipe, the drainage system, burst drainage, overflowing drainage, and all those things. So what happened is that you must think that if I clean it, the next minute it will come back again. So let me go to the root cause of the problem and sort it out. And once you sort it out, the problem is as good as being sorted out. And the days and months and years to come, you really have a very clean and nice place to be. So, and relating it to Anambra State, that's exactly what the governor would have done. What you need to ask himself, is there any system in place? Did he come with any system, or is he planning over it? Because these things are not a rocket science. So when he started, it seems that there's no system in place, because he was talking about to now fashion a system. So fashioning a system has taken a lot of months already. So that's why in the middle of the road, you see in Oka, in nature, you see a lot of rubbish on the road. And up till now, you still see the road littered with sand dunes. You see that the roads are not kept clean. the drainages, some of them are filled up already with garbage. And because it's open drainage, it's most expensive to maintain because it's open drainage. Open drainage is basically, it's like a graveyard of sorts for rubbish and filthy environment, because it's very easy to pack rubbish and put inside of it. And how long will you continue to be open, cleaning the drainage and all those things? Because people will be dumping bins there, especially you don't have a system where there's the system of refuge collection in the state is completely zero. So it has not actually scratched the ground on that. So that's why the environment has remained existential threat, and will do a lot of damage to his government if he cannot be on top on that. Environment alone can actually kickstart a lot of things in the state, and also help to bring a lot of investment in that state, because the state has been unkept for years. It's not his fault that the state has been, because most of the governors that ruled in the state has not put any tangible structure or system in place to help to midwife this challenge. That's why that he has to come in and start talking about what to do. But what to do is not far-fetched, because the whole thing needs proper reorganization. So if you have a situation whereby you don't have carrot and stick approach in environmental matters, you will not succeed. And if you don't provide the enabling regulations, rules and regulations, it will not succeed. And if you don't have the right personnel, the people on the ground, sanitary inspectors, the people that can actually help to caution this, because it's like if you declare war and you don't have soldiers, you don't have equipment for the war, you basically have failed. So now what he needs to do on the environment is to declare, not just declaring war on the environment, on tackling the issues of environment, but also to recruit the people. Get the right people that need to get every area clean. Not just clean, but to remain environmentally safe for people. So that's what we are discussing this morning. And I hope that you will contribute to your own, because we are talking about Anambra State 2024 changing gear. The environment, very filthy, still very filthy, still not nothing scratched, nothing. Even if you look at some of the local governments, you see even the environment near their roads. We talked about the one in Ekusigo, and suddenly they went to clear some of the grass around the road last year. But you can see that a lot of roads are still unkept. And after that local government area, you can see that they are still mess. So you look at the markets and the environment in the markets, you can see loads of rubbish. So lack of trees. They are not planting trees at the same time. If you want to get the environment to look nice, you need to plant trees. For sure, every house. So to get trees planted, you need to make it mandatory that every house must have not less than 2 trees planted in front of their houses. So you must be compulsory unless there is a fine for that. So you must also let the people understand the reason you are doing all those things, because if they don't understand where you are going, they will not be able to follow you. And to change a habit of dirtiness, it takes a while. Our people in the homeland have formed a culture of dirtiness, littering everywhere with waste. Throwing it everywhere, turn into a garbage dump. So now you also need to educate the people. You need to get the people to understand that this causes damage, that this thing you are dropping here will enter into the water system, blocking the drainage, and cause a lot of devastation, flooding and other things. So the people must be drawn to that knowledge that these things are, are not good. So environment is another area. Environment is the place that he need to show himself, because you cannot bring a transformation without the environment looking better or very good. So the environment in Anambra State need to be tackled, and that environment involve a lot of things, and there are a lot of jobs that will eventually be created in an environment. So meaning that the government must rise to the occasion. The government must be proactive. I don't know the guy in charge of the environment, but it's still there are a lot of works to be done. There are a lot of works to be done. If you put it over 100%, they are actually at 1%. They're not even up to that 1% on the environment. They have not actually done anything yet, because the whole of Opiwek, the whole of Onitsha Way Road, the whole of Ugwaba, Awada, and many places, even in Okanewi, many of them are still rubbish everywhere. It's still dump. People are still burning the rubbish, because if you ask them, they said, "Oh, we are paying for the refuge collection," but up to now we don't see them. They come maybe once a week or once in whenever they want, and because of that, there's a problem of where to put the bins, where to put the rubbish, and all those markets are worse off because there's no designated places for massive dump this thing, like rooms and all those things, like they do in the Western world. In a market or business area, there's a place they put a lot of things. It's locked up, you don't see the whole thing. So, and in every business location, you see like refuge bins on well covered, very neat, put in a place. So these are put in a place, and they are taken in the market area or business area is done every day, because they generate a lot of rubbish. So you must collect it every day. All those busy areas, you must collect it every day. So in the streets, in the residential areas, you make a way of collecting it 2 times a week or 3 times a week. But at a start, you start with 3 times, because you need to, get the whole thing, up and running. So it's very, very important for them to look at the environment and start to tackle it, and to get people sweeping the streets. The sand dunes in the street need to be, cleared. Those drainage systems that are left open, they must find a way to close all of them, to cover them, because it's too expensive. The state cannot maintain the level of cannot cope with maintaining all those drainage if they leave it open, and the amount of injuries and the danger it poses to human habitation, because a lot of people has been breaking their legs, falling into this thing, animals falling into their children, falling into those drainages. And in the rainy season, it will be even worse, because a lot of places are submerged because of that. So they have to cover it, because that's the standard. That's the 21st century standard. The drainage are covered. It's not open. It's not left open. So what happened is that there are some areas of it that you need to use a wire mesh to control if there's anything that has gone in somewhere, that you will not be able to block the channel. So that's what they need to do on environment. They need to start planting grasses. They need to planting grasses and ornamental trees along the road, and even in the middle of the road. So they need to be planting all those things, because without them doing these things, it will be difficult to have a better environment. So you can see this area alone. You can see how it looks. You see, in spite that it's very cold now, you can see the grasses are still there. You know, you can see lots of trees they planted here. In spite that it's so cold, today is very, very cold. I think it's one of the coldest morning in UK this year. So 2024. So planning about having cities, Onitsha Point 2, Oka Point 2, the industrial cities, that's big projects. But there are other little things that you can start with. You know, we are talking about Anambra 2024, the changing gear year. What the government need to be doing. I am Kodili-nye. If you are joining this video now, that's what we are discussing. We are discussing about the 2024, the changing gear year. What Soludo can start to do immediately, instead of wasting much time, because 7 days have already passed. And by now, to be frank, if I am near there, I would myself be doing, start doing immediately the 1st of January. You'll see me in action already. You know, see me in action. You will see me in action because I'm changing gear. You know, I will not allow what happened over the years to happen again. You know, so that's exactly, you know, you see me taking steps to change. See me taking steps to change, you know, changing my step. Because if I have delayed over the years, I will now say, no, I changed the step. Let me step my game. Let me step my game. So that's exactly what happens. Sorry, it's quite cold here, man. So all those big ambitious projects are very good, but you know, like in Nigeria, they don't actually work with time. Most of the time, there's no time frame to accomplish all those things. You can see some of the roles that are being awarded. They say, oh, in 3 months we accomplish it, but they don't mean it, because they don't actually accomplish it. You know, because if you want to accomplish a project on this thing, you must make sure that the funds are available, how to source the fund, make sure the contractors we are giving this can actually deliver. You know, you don't give projects to contractors that are not actually fit for purpose, because they will derail your agenda. So that's why it's very, very important for Soludo to look at this year and hit the ground running. You know, because if he would have actually take a revolutionary approach to things, what happened is that he would have delivered more than now, more than what he has delivered. Revolutionary approach is doing things in a new way, a better way, that will actually change the tempo of how things, or change the tempo of activities, and change how things has been done before. So that's why we are advocating that he has to look at his approach. He has to also to look at his people that are working with him. If do they understand what he's doing, or are they in the same page with him? Are they going to go extra mile to bring about the necessary change, the changing gear agenda? Are they going to make sacrifices? You know, that's things that he need to be thinking about, and these are things he need to do very, very quick. So the state will grow so much this year, but the main thing is that the main question to ask is that, will the governor lead from the front? Because what has happened over the years is that the government of Anambra State are not leading from the front. That's why people are building houses, but the government has not actually opened up the place. They have not planned the place. They have not created roads. They have not expanded roads. And the whole place, people build everywhere up. So now, are they going to be proactive? The planning authority, what are they doing? Do they have enough manpower? Can they live up to expectation? Can they say, okay, we are going to tackle these unplanned slums that littered all over the street? You know, that's one of the things they need to look into. And by looking into it, it will actually change a lot of things. So that's why we are, we're advocating that this year should not go the way of 2023. Because if it goes the way of 2023, what will happen is that the state will not grow much. And it will remain the same issue that we are talking about. So, there are opportunities to accomplish a lot in the state. There are a lot of opportunities to accomplish a lot. There are things that he can deliver within 6 months. There are things that he can deliver before the end of this year. There are things he can deliver, for sure. There are things he can deliver if he's serious about delivering anything. So there are things he can deliver. He can get the water supply in most of the cities in Anambra State. In Onitsha, in 6 months, he can actually reticulate water and distribute it to homes. And the government also will be making a lot of money from that investment. He just needs to get multiples of water companies to do that. Those that will be doing distribution will be there. 6 months deadline, and that they want the water to be running in Onitsha, running in Newi, in Oka, in Ekulobia. And from there, they will extend it to many other huge population centers. So this can be delivered in 6 months. If you start this January, by August, you have water running everywhere in homes, and the government start receiving a lot of revenue from it. So that's one that for sure can be delivered. So we have discussed about environment. The environment can be tackled once and for all within 6 months. Those dirty markets, unkept markets, rubbish. 6 months. These are things that can be delivered within 6 months. These are things that can be delivered within 6 months. So now, security in the city, in the urban cities and all those things. This is a 6 months project that can be delivered by reorganizing how the security work. The security is also about information, intelligence, and personnel. So he can also get more people trained up to secure the urban major population areas, extending it to many places, even the border communities that with Imo State that experienced a lot of security issues in the past. The security architecture should be reorganized, and this within 6 months, the whole place will be changed. Within 6 months, it will be difficult for somebody to commit crime and go away with it. So, and to tackle the causes of this crime, all those people selling all those mpulumili and all those things. Let me not mention the name because of this video, because of YouTube and all those things. So those mpulumili and all those people that are their source of income cannot be located or cannot be discovered, should part of it is to tackle those type of you know issue. You know, to tackle crime, you need the causes of crime, not just the crime itself, but the causes of crime. You need to deal with the causes of crime, and those causes of crime can the government, in partnership with the people, will deal with it. So having neighborhood watch, having CCTV cameras, making sure that the place is light up in the night. So we are coming at solar. Now you can hear a lot of communities trying to put on solar. This can be another game changer in changing the whole state. So I do think I do believe that a government that want to work can work. Like this solar issue can solar light installation, lighting up everywhere, can be actually succeed if the government can now have a meeting with the landlords and the estate developers and tenants, that the new law that the neighborhood, that each house must have two solar lights. So the streets must be lit up. So as the government is putting on major highways and open places like markets and parks, putting major motorways, putting a light there. So in the neighborhood, everywhere are being lit up by solar lights. And those solar lights will, is in partnership. And that most of the streets and hoods and corners of every neighborhood will be lighting up, starting with the major urban areas, population areas. So that will be a project for within 6 months, that we don't want any place that is dark. So they have to start supervising, checking the whole areas. Everywhere is lit up in the night, light everywhere. All the houses will have at least 2 solar panels, 2 solar lights on it. So, and these will actually lighten up the whole place and also help to secure the place. And the government now start to partner with the landlords and putting CCTV cameras, and the government will have its control room. Like in Opiweka, will have a control room that will be stationed in that Opiweka, that will be with and the response team that will be looking at everybody moving on those streets and that area. So they will have to be looking at that. So these are things that you can accomplish in 6 months. That in the night the whole state is like the day. It's turned like the day. So people can freely move around. So these are things that can be accomplished. The solar system, the lightning, these are things that can be accomplished. Now is another thing is the power, electric power. Last year he said that he has had agreement with ENDC, the company that is responsible for supplying power, that they will start giving 16 hours and all those more and all those things to the urban areas and some areas. But what happened this Christmas or last Christmas was that a lot of households cannot even see the power. Some people had power once a week, some 2 times a week, some in 2 weeks they have power once. So it was very, very bad, that a lot of families was spending a lot of money on gasolines and all those things. The company was completely inept. So now this year is a great opportunity to license some other companies in order to start electricity, because now you can't say it's a federal government. It's only in a concurrent in a exclusive list. Now it's in concurrent list, meaning that the state also a state that has a governor that is up and doing can actually start having 24-hour electricity. But the governor must be a proactive one. It must not be the one that will just saying they're talking about it, expecting things, miracle to happen. No. It has to be working. It has to be working. If you say you want to deliver electricity, it has to now finding a way to deliver electricity. If in the urban areas like Onitsha, Nnewi, Awka, there are a lot of rubbish dumps that can actually be generated, be collected, and used to generate electricity. So you need to get some companies to start setting up their power plants, at least supplying electricity to some neighborhoods, 24-hour electricity for neighborhoods. So companies will be registered, and they will help also to solve the issue of waste. So this can be delivered this year. Within 6 to 1 year, it will be delivered, and the electricity, some neighborhoods will start having 24-hour electricity. And having a solar plant, a solar field where they mount a lot of solar to give light to some areas. Like, let me give you an example, Awada or Ugwaba. Awada and Ugwaba. You can actually mount solar that can give light to this area. You can actually mount solar that will give light to this area 24 hours. So now, having a light in that area already, you have solved one problem, that area. At least job creation will be assured. Security will be assured. A lot of things will be assured. So you start doing it in some areas, you start getting some companies to supply them 24-hour electricity. So these are how you can actually off-grid. So the markets, you get those business districts 24-hour electricity. So you start spreading this electricity generation and distribution. You start spreading it in the state. So now some of the water, some of the streams and rivers can be also used to generate power, hydropower. So mini hydropower in some communities. So it can. I was watching the other day the guy from Abia State, the guy that invented the hydro power plant. You can invite him. He's not from Anambra State, but you can invite him as the government are not helping him in the state. You can invite him, give him the necessary fund to develop that hydro power using some of those streams and all those things. So that's one of the things that he can look into and accomplish. And once he does that, he will be very, very beneficial to the state. So that's what we are discussing. So he need to do more on this. So in other areas like roads, I must admit that Soludo is trying to do roads. Although he awarded a lot of roads, he's starting to do some, especially thinking, if you remember that the state are having the issue of roads. Roads is the number one problem, and the security. But you can see that he started to do some of those roads. But another thing is that, can we continue to have narrow roads? That's a question that you need to answer. If your population is growing, can you continue to have narrow roads? Can you continue on all those narrow roads? So the answer is completely no, because we have made the mistake of having so much narrow roads. Anambra State is now the capital of very narrow roads in the whole country. We have so much narrow roads that some of them, two cars can struggle to pass one another. And a lot of estate developers are developing more estate with narrow roads. So we must actually make a way that we might start to have expanding our roads, major roads, to at least 50 feet. 50 feet. So that 50 feet now become a minimum that we have to expand them. So we must looking at expanding them. So the Ochanja, Opiweka down to Ochanja to Mall Street he's doing, it's a very good job. He's trying to dualize that road. But dualizing it without extending it on the left and right will not work so much. it will not work so much, because if he doesn't remove all those attachments on those buildings, nothing works there. So the road will still be having a lot of hiccups, traffic jams, and all those things. So you need to remove all those attachments. If the people want to do business and their business place is small, the government can actually come up with a law that mandate that some of those on those major highways, the measurement of business spaces must be expanded. So you can't just build so much stores, tiny stores under the building. So this has to stop. So because of those tiny stores, that's why they are doing attachment to bring all those things out, their wares out, because the stores are too small. So now they have to make a law that they start merging those stores. So that will help to stop these things. It was done in England, it was done in America, whereby the government intervened, and some of the stores that are so small has to merge together. They has to join them together, so that to avoid all those issue of lack of space. But also, if you start getting all those attachments away and planting trees there, and the pedestrian walk established, all these drainages covered, that people will be using it as pedestrian walk, and the law make that if you are found putting attachment on those major highways, at least 10 of them, at a start you can use like 10 major highways in Onitsha or in Oka, so you'll be fined 50,000. So 50,000 or 100,000. So that one will, or the government can take the land or the property owner to court as well for breach of environmental laws and constituting nuisance in the state. So he need to look at that. So that OP worker to Moore Street, he can see the Moore Street, down the Moore Street, you can see that the place was so narrow that they can't even expand that place, unless they need to bring down some of the buildings and or properties, and the compensation paid for the owners. But to avoid all this paying too much compensation, the government must be proactive, making sure that they move in front to stop people occupying the roads, occupying everywhere with shanty towns and attachments and all those things that they are building on the middle of the roads. So road construction is the one that he need to look into 2024, and he must be quick on that. Some of the contract he awarded, some of them has been already abandoned. You can see in Awada, Ugwaba area, some of the roads people celebrated with him. He promised them that within 6 months is delivered. The one of St. Peter, POP, all those ones have been abandoned. It's almost since it was awarded since October 2022. And since now, nothing has been delivered there except leveling the place, and the drainage has not been completed. The place is still in a mess. So last February, he came there and said, oh, the contractor that should finish this thing up by September, by August last year. But now, most of the thing has been abandoned. So some of those roads are abandoned. The Boko one has taken a lot of time. He has not actually get up to 60% of the project there. So, and these are things that he need to quicken up. I know that the Niger Drive has been delivered, but unfortunately the Niger Drive should have been expanded. The road, considering that road is a major artery into main market, it should have been expanded. That road should have been a dual carriageway, and some of those shops along the street, they are removed so that you have a proper city, so that on the other side of the Niger, there in front of that Niger, we'll have a beach front, sand beach front. So he must deliver on roads, because roads are the major, it's a game changer in roads are a game changer if he is to be reckoned with. So I know that he awarded a lot of roads, and it's some of them are being done in Oka, in Onitsha, but still the pace of those jobs and some of the work are not really. You look at the pedestrian walkway, some of them are not really nice. It's also, it can be dangerous because some of them are not level. You know, people walking on it, you expect to close your eyes walking on pedestrian walk, but it's not really fit for purpose. I must admit that. But we must also commend him for building for the first time pedestrian walk, which is not been done in the state. Most of these governors were not doing that. So we must commend him for that. But he need to look at all those work that those contractors are doing and see that he pushed them to see that things are moving in the right direction. So he must look at that. He must look at that because very important that the roads are very important area that he need to look into. So I will discuss more on this, taking it one by one to discuss more deeper or more into it. But at the moment, I'm just touching on them little by little because I don't want this video to be more than 1 hour. But one of the things he will need to do is Chinua Achebe International Cargo and Passenger Airports. If you are joining me, I am Kodili-nye. Remember to subscribe. We are discussing about Anambra 2024, the changing gear agenda year. What need to be delivered? What need to be delivered immediately? So the airport, Anambra Airport, a lot of Anambra people suffered so much because remember, a lot of Anambra people were of the opinion that the governor should look at attracting international airline, 1 or 2 international airline to the airports, to use that airport. So this year, the whole thing is still on his table, that he need to do more, at least to attract 1 or 2 international airlines. There are many of them, but he can attract 1 or 2 because the terminal are not that too huge to be having so many. So considering that the state need to be linked internationally and to attract also more local flights to that place, local airlines, very important. At the moment, it's only APs and United are going there. So they need to do something about that airport this year. Within this year, it can be delivered. So you international airlines like Air Morocco, Qatar Air, Ethiopian Airline, or Egypt Air can be encouraged, or even APs that are going international can be encouraged to start using that place also. So it's very important to attract not less than 2 international distance. So to help mitigate these challenges the people returning to the homeland are facing, so that at least some of them will be able to use these airlines and get to the States as quick as possible. So it's very important because now the aviation is also in concurrent list. So it's not the time that the governors will be blaming that's the federal government. He don't want to give us the license. He doesn't want to do this. No, not anymore, because you can go and get the investors. You can get the airlines. Once the airline they are happy to use that place, they will, because you invested on your airports. So he needs also to complete that airport and get the investors to expand the terminal buildings and other things that are needed, building more things that will make that airport to be commercially viable. That airport will be very viable but he need the investment. He need more investment. I need something that will attract people more to that airport and attract more investment. The cargo section of it must be built in partnership with private investors. So the governor must look into these things and see that these things are delivered, because it's very, very important to have a clear path for investment to grow in the state. He must be proactive. He must look at that. Chinua Achebe International Passenger and Cargo Airport must this year take up with accelerated speed, and it can only happen if the governor is proactive, if the governor want to walk the talk. He must walk the talk. He must walk the talk. I know that Willie Obiano, kudos to him for building that airport, but a lot was left out when he was building that airport, like building a very small terminal building, which he should not have done. That small terminal building, it should have been at least not less than twice that size. But I was surprised how he built that small one. But kudos to him for building the airport, breaking the jinx of Anambra not having airports, having suffered from the politicians who was telling us that we can't have airport in Anambra State. But Soludo must do more now that the airport has been built and the plane landing there. And it's one of the airports that will be much viable in Nigeria. It will be very, very viable. It's already showing the hints that very viable. But the investment has to come in. The investment must come in. And once the investment is brought in, I bet you the airport will be talk of the town. The name also, the name of that airport alone has drowned other airports in Nigeria. You can see there, whenever Chinua Achebe is mentioned, all other airports, bow. So, because it's a name that is known worldwide. So once the governor move on that flow and use that name as a great marketing tool for that airport, I think I will tell you that the heavens will be the limit. And the airport will keep on growing tall and tall. The airport will continue growing tall and tall until it reaches the pinnacle. It's very, very important for us to look at that, and because I can see the state, Anambra State, that everywhere will turn green this year. Everywhere will turn green. The communities are coming out with Akulona. So the government must also be aggressive in development. It must not allow delay again. It must not allow too much talking. It must be seen in the actions. We must be seen deliverables. A lot of roads delivered, and more contracts that you are sure to deliver. Not the one that you just award to the sake of awarding it. Because I know, as Soludo said, that he's not a politician, that whatever he wants to do, he will do it. So let's see that he will do this year. And I don't know about your opinion on what we are discussing. I am Kodili-nye. Remember to subscribe. I don't know. We can go to the comment section and keep on talking. We will do more on this, but we are just scratching the surface on that. We will continuously bringing you about this 2024 agenda, the changing gear agenda, and what the governor of Anambra State need to do to make the state moving at the rate it's supposed to be moving. Some of the people I talked to, experts on this, like we did in one of the vlogs and one of the video, they reckon that Anambra should be having opening up something like 100, between 50 to 100 industries and production lines every month for the next 4 years, if it's going to be on top, if it's going to conquer. So I know there are a lot of small-scale industries rising up, but they believe that bigger firms also can also help to change the face of the state. Thank you very much for joining us. We can continue this game in the comment section. And if you have any contrary view or views in support, you can, or ideas, you can also share it. We'll be discussing. And remember, we are entertaining, we are educative, and we are informative. We offer solutions. We, dialogue. We react to events. That's how it's done. And thank you very much for supporting us. And we will continue on this path. We will continue on this path. And the homeland must be livable. The homeland must be prosperous. It must be a destination and not a departure point. It must be a final destination and not a departure point. I'm quoting Professor Chukwuma Soludo's words, and I do believe also now is the time for him to live by those words and to deliver, because time is of essence, and the time is not waiting for anybody. So now is the time to change the gear. Now is the time to change the gear. Now is the time that Soludo administration in Anambra State must change the gear. There is no need of delay. There's no need of talking. Now is the time for real action. And I do believe if he's going to succeed, he must be matched. His words must be matched with action. And once he does that, everywhere the land will become green, and everywhere will become wonderful, and the state will celebrate a birth of, or the coming of, an icon, and he will have his name written in gold, because people know what he can do if he want to be Soludo. But if he chooses to do otherwise, which we pray it shouldn't turn to not to be real Soludo, but we believe that he will deliver, and we pray that he will deliver, because our land is the land of milk and honey, and what is just looking is a leader who will actually bring the best of this milk and honey, so that the people will have jobs, people will have hope again, so that people will drive on roads, wide roads, motorways, roads without potholes, and the environment clean with trees and fresh. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for your comments. I expect more of them. Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you for supporting us. And I would like to see you in the next video. I am Kodili-nye signing off. Bye.